Hello and welcome to the Patrick Productions podcast. I am your co-host, Patrick.
Oh, hello.
God damn it, man. I didn't think you'd actually do it.
Oh, too early. Oh, I'm the other one. I'm Shjon.
This is Shjon, and we're gonna be just talking about random shit.
Yeah, boy.
So first off, For Honor finally came out, and you picked it up.
Yes, it's the first game I've pre-ordered since... Christ, I don't even know. It's been years upon years, so I was excited for it.
Yeah, it just looks insane. I'm unable to play it, personally, unfortunately. But I've seen a lot of gameplay, and I'm just really excited for it.
Oh, you should be. So far, I've spent a lot of time in the practice just to really try and get a feel for, I guess, the characters before I went out and dueled them. I haven't touched story mode yet, but it feels really good.
I heard the story mode is actually really good as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to go in and take a look at it. I just have yet to get there.
I heard they really went all out. There's an actual story and it's cutscenes, and it's really well done.
Yeah, the 15 minutes that IGN released didn't exactly win me over. Then again, I can't remember the last thing IGN did that won me over at all.
That's true. So who are you playing as so far?
So far I have played as the Warden, I have played as the Conqueror, and that's it so far.
Yeah, I really want to try all the classes, but the classes I'm most interested in are the Warden, the Kensei, the Lawbringer, and the Lawbringer and the whatever it's called, the Conqueror.
I have fought. So my first duel when I got in was as a Warden, and I was like, all right, let's just see if I can take what I had in practice and actually apply it. And the first fight was against a Shigoki, which is the home run hitter for the samurai. I about had a heart attack because I have not seen any gameplay for it at all.
Oh my gosh, my friend Idol was playing on stream, and it was hilarious.
The opening attack, he broke my back.
It's kind of crazy. They have the ability where if they get under 10% health or something, and they hit you with that grab attack, it's a guaranteed one shot at full health. It's it's crazy.
I think I dueled him 4 separate times. The first time he was a Shigoki. The second time he was a Conqueror.
Right.
Then he was a Raider, and I forget what the last one was. And that was that. It was a Kensei, and then that was that.
Right. Yeah, I really want to give Kensei a try. It looks like a pretty cool class. Apparently, it was pretty bad in one of the earlier betas.
Yeah, in the alpha, it wasn't too swell.
Yeah.
Especially given that Orochi was just ridiculously good back then.
Mm-hmm. So people are really pissed off about Lawbringer. They're just really mad at that guy right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's a very defensive class. It's an interesting play style. It does very slow. Damage isn't even too great, but it's just very, very tanky and defensive. Pick your battles type of thing.
Yeah, I fought it as when it was a bot because I was just farming steel for a little bit as a Crusader.
Right.
Which doesn't really count as a duel if it's against an AI, I think, because it was pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like all his attacks were very slow and easy to read.
Yeah. Thing is, people just haven't gotten used to him yet, so they just don't have the timing down and things like that. They're used to fighting peacekeepers and Orochis whose attacks come out instantly. So they're used to that kind of thing, and apparently this is just what I've heard, that the Lawbringer has very weird timings on his attacks. So it's just tough to fight against. Believe it or not, game's been out for less than 24 hours, and there's already a tier list online.
Really?
Yep.
Damn it, Scott Jund.
Let me read you this here. There's only 3 tiers. There's nothing below B tier. Because, I wouldn't say any of the heroes in this game are bad. I wouldn't say the best job ever, but they've definitely done a good job balancing so far, it seems.
Yeah, so far I've yet to really just like been. I've yet to see anything that just stands out as just ridiculous.
Yeah. Apparently, the S tier for 1v1s and 2v2s is Nobushi, Warden, Orochi, and Peacekeeper. The A tier is Berserker, Warlord, Kensei, Valkyrie, and Lawbringer. And the B tier is Raider, Conqueror, and Shuguki. And then for the 4v4 Dominion, Elimination, and Skirmish, S tier is Orochi, Nobushi, Lawbringer, Valkyrie, and Warlord. A tier is Warden, Peacekeeper, Conqueror, Kensei, and Berserker. Then B tier is the Raider and the Shugoki.
That makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, people I've told, they said that they really don't want to trust a tier list for a game that hasn't been out for 24 hours. You know, a lot of these competitive type games, for example, like Akuma came out in Street Fighter V recently. I don't know if you follow that game at all.
Not really.
Yeah, but they've been adding characters over the course of the game's life cycle.
I would hope so.
Yeah, and Akuma came out, and apparently people thought it was really, really bad. For the first month he was out, and then apparently he just started to get really, really good, and he's top tier now. So I'm sure as the game ages a bit, some of the classes that seem OP now will, people get used to them, and then some of the the underused classes will start to shine a bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm kind of happy that the first one I fought was a Shugoki, because that's, obviously one of the newer ones. So it's nice to see that people are going for what's new rather than just, taking whatever they had in the beta and going with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know Skies, since the technical test, the very first thing, has only played Warden. Literally has not touched a single other class. He's going for, actual top tier competitive play for this game.
Yeah, it sounds like something Skies would do, so I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I understand that, sticking with one character, really wanting to learn that character if you're going to go for that route. But the way we play, we're obviously going to try as many classes as we can, give them all a try.
Yeah. There's lots of subtle things in this that, I don't know, it's the small things that I've noticed so far that really impress me, like the fact that you can't lock on to the small soldiers, obviously, when you're in Dominion.
Right.
But if you go into guard mode, you can still block them the same way as you do the other fighters when you're not locked onto them.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool in Dominion what they did for the little mob guys. I think that really adds to the feel that game mode's supposed to be a big battle. You know what I mean? And it's cool how you can just sweep and destroy them all, but it's not like they're completely useless, because they will just destroy you if you just stand in the middle of them.
It's very fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just really excited to try it.
Say, just visually, everything is just incredibly nice so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. So we had For Honor just come out, and also Nioh that just came out. Were you interested in that at all?
I am, but I'm not.
Right.
It's I don't know. Nioh's in a really strange place for me, where I like the look of it, and it looks like it's going to be a really good, unique game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's too Dark Souls, and not in a bad way, because it's also too Ninja Gaiden, and I feel like those two don't mix very well.
Yeah. No, I completely understand.
It took the general feel of Dark Souls, which I like, but it's sped up so much that it's like Bloodborne but faster, but still Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. I really enjoy the aesthetic and the music and the story of what I've seen. weapon selection, fashion, bosses, they all look great. Like top-notch stuff. There is an absurd number of bosses in that game.
Yeah, I've already looked through a list of the bosses just to see if I could find something that would pique my interest.
Right.
And I'm genuinely impressed by how many there are.
Yeah, I just, don't quote me on this, but I swear I saw the number like 48 somewhere. Like, that is an insane number of bosses.
I don't think they're all unique, though. I think a couple repeat.
Yeah, I could understand that. Dark Souls 2 had a lot too, but, you know, as we know, there's a lot of crap in there. So if most of the Nioh boss fights are quality, and there's that many, then I think that's a win. Because just some of them just look absolutely incredible. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but there's like, you know, a lot of bosses, you know, humanoid style, and then there's big ass creatures, and it's a good variety.
Oh yeah, it looks like they threw the whole kitchen sink in.
Mhm.
I mean, everything in the kitchen sink. I haven't used that expression in way too long.
Right.
No one should use that expression.
They picked up the kitchen sink and no, and then, you know, there's like historical figures that you fight, and I think that's really cool.
Oh really? I didn't know that one.
Yeah, the boss that everyone keeps talking about that was in all the betas, you know, that, have you seen that fight with just like the samurai on the hill?
Oh yeah.
That's Tachibana. He was an actual samurai historically.
Oh. Well,
So yeah, that is very cool. And apparently a big figure in the story is Hattori Hanzo, which is
oh, that's a name I know.
sort of a big pop culture icon. People know him from like Kill Bill and movies and things like that.
And just general history.
Right. So it's really cool. And I know my brother is buying it, so I'll be able to play it that way, because he's more excited for it than For Honor for some reason.
Strange child.
Yeah, well, For Honor definitely is going to be a huge time commitment to, you know, really learn the characters and get super good at it. Especially for us who weren't in the betas or the technical tests. You know, we're a bit behind compared to others.
Not everyone.
Oh yeah, not everyone. But there's definitely a few people who are going into the game at a higher skill level than others, just because they've had the experience.
Yeah, the Sword Art Online syndrome.
Right.
Beta testers.
Right. Fucking condemn them.
Although I've noticed that a lot of the tricks that I've picked up from watching beta footage, people aren't really savvy to yet.
Yeah.
Like that first fight, when I was using the Warden, I used the guard break and then 2 light attacks. Hold a second so you don't shoulder charge, and then guard break again.
Yeah.
I was able to hit that like 4 times in a row, and he just didn't learn to expect the guard break.
See, I know people who hate Warden because it's just a guard break spam fest. That's what they say.
Well, I mean,
but you know,
the thing is that you can't just like, you almost can't reaction guard break. You have to almost expect it coming.
Right. Warden is just a good character in general. He has a good he's just very strong moveset overall.
Oh yes, I've thoroughly enjoyed him. He doesn't have any blaring weaknesses that I've left out at me just yet.
Right.
Conqueror, yeah, I don't have a problem with him so far. His defense is exceptionally good, as you know he's supposed to, and when he does hit, he hits like a truck.
Oh yeah, that shoulder bash is just the funniest thing ever.
My only problem with them so far is I've had trouble just like generating offense.
Right. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess is good because you don't really want them to be too good, because their defense is already spectacular. Being able to essentially have like a perfect defense if you're good enough.
That's what I've heard about Lawbringer as well. I just like how there are classes for everything. There are classes for like insane aggression. There's classes for more reactive people. Then there's like really defensive classes, and I really like that. How it forces you to adopt a new play style.
Yeah, for each character, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of coaxes you out of your comfort zone if you want to use like the Peacekeeper, and you're just not a very aggressive person.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. I just like the way Lawbringer looks, so I was interested in trying him out. But then people told me he was really defensive, so I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, Homeboy's wearing a full set of like plate armor.
Yeah, like it's fine that he's defensive. I'll learn to play like that. Just to use him. I like being pushed out of my comfort zone. That's fine. Speaking of being pushed out of your comfort zone, did you check out Resident Evil 7?
Not seriously, as in like looking at it as like its own game.
Right.
But I have done a lot of looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it looks good. I'll give it that. I haven't seen it in too much of a serious light to really appreciate it, but visually, I've heard that it's actually quite impressive when the settings are right.
Mm-hmm. Visual-wise, I just want to open this can of worms real quick. People, you know how it did the 3 demos, the short demos, which were nothing like the main game. Like there was no combat. It was like ghosts and shit as opposed to how the main game actually is. And people thought they were just basically trying to do the same thing PT did.
Yes, those I remember.
Well, like some people are pointing out how the graphics just didn't seem were almost for the demos at least. I mean, they look better in the main game, but it's like PT. If they're trying to pull off the same thing PT did, PT had this. The graphics were just downright incredible. It was almost photorealistic in some places. You had to look twice.
That is definitely the Fox Engine Network for you.
Right. So Resident Evil, the demos at least, just couldn't pull off that same feel. No, but I heard the game is actually quite good.
Yeah, I have as well.
Yeah, there's a video in my watch later on YouTube, which is like a 50-minute video of why Resident Evil 7 is brilliant. So I'm going to be checking that out.
Say, Jim Sterling praised the hell out of it, so it's got to be doing something right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially compared to those really action-oriented Resident Evil games that have come out recently. You have your horror Resident Evils, which is like, 1, 2, 3, and then 7 now. Then you have your action Resident Evils, which is 5 and 6. And then you have your middle ground, which is like 4. And maybe like the first Revelations game. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
I haven't played the first Revelations game, but yeah, 4 was sort of the turning point for him.
Mm-hmm. I still really, really enjoy 4, but yeah, I really want to check out 7. It has its moments of just like, goofiness, the sort of Resident Evil, you can't take everything too seriously type thing.
Yeah.
But there are these, really horror, just really gruesome moments, and I've heard there's some good, scary things as well.
I heard there were almost too many gruesome moments. Like they went overboard with their dismemberment campaign.
So I don't think this is much of a spoiler, but the opening like 20 minutes is like basically the same place where the demo took place. It's basically the same thing as the demo. You have to find the tape and go through the house and all that. And that's where like that kind of builds for the rest of the game. But you get your damn hand cut off.
You just glue it back on.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
It gets fucking stapled back on later. Like you just get absolutely destroyed, and then like the main game that doesn't happen nearly as much. So
as much. It's losing a limb.
No, I mean like the main game after the intro. The intro is where you lose your hand and you get just get completely fucked over. Then the main game that doesn't happen as much. It's more down to the gameplay and less about those cinematic moments.
I've also heard that your main protagonist is a bit of a cardboard block.
I've heard it both ways. Some people say he's an interesting character who kind of grows through it, and others have said that he's very cardboard and.
It's amazing he can grow with how many limbs he's losing.
Damn right. No, fucking Sebastian from Evil Within syndrome.
Oh please.
We don't want to talk about that game here. Let's move on.
Say this was about good upcoming games, not nightmares from our past.
Or games that have recently come out.
Yeah.
Speaking of recently come out, you got Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, I've not played through nearly enough of it, but it is good.
Right. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like it's just downright phenomenal. Yeah, it got me into the Resident Evil series. So now I've been playing those like crazy.
Let's see, what have I been playing recently? Not much.
I haven't played anything. So
my gaming life is fallen down quite a bit.
We've both been pretty busy. I'm in college, so I can't play my PS4, so I only got a very limited number of games I can play. And then Shjon is always busy.
Yeah, also with college or work.
Right. So we're both pretty gameless now, but you got For Honor. Hopefully you'll play that a little more.
I got the gold edition. I sure as shit hope I play it more.
Yeah, people just have been so excited for that game. Fucking Branton, the streamer I told you about, he just dropped like $100 on a microtransaction to get 100 points. So he could like buy a ton of shit. He had like 200,000 of the points.
Yeah, that's not gonna be me.
Yeah, that was funny. I thought he's like I'll end up spending it anyway, and I was like, yeah, or you could just not spend it at all.
Yeah, or you could save your money.
Exactly.
Let's see. Microtransactions in this, they're not as criminal as, I thought they would have been. So far, all I've noticed is just, you can just buy huge chunks of steel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, steel, that's what it's called. I thought it was iron for some reason. Yeah, I kind of expected it to be a little worse as well. It's not nearly as pronounced as I thought it would be. They're not pushing it as hard.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still there,
And,
Jim Sterling does not excuse that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. As far as other things I've noticed, the effects concept is neat. So far, I've yet to find them that look good, but I mean, there's a special set of armor you can get. I'm not entirely sure how, where you've literally got flaming phoenix wings popping out your back.
Oh yeah, you can purchase little auras, I think they're called.
Yeah,
that happen when you do executions or emotes.
So far, that's the only time I can think I'd want it on there.
Like when you just shove your sword through the guy's neck, fucking flames come out of your back. That's so metal.
Yeah, I'm not enough of a Dark Souls fan to want myself just constantly spouting sunlight.
Yeah, I understand that. But the only one I've really thought looked cool was the what are they called? Cherry blossoms.
I haven't even seen that one.
Oh my gosh, I think it's only on the Samurai.
I'll explain it. I've only looked at
Yeah, but it when you do it, it just showers cherry blossoms. It's so cool. Yeah, that's the only one I think I would actually buy. And I want my immersion.
Let's see, I got the Sunlit one because I'm a Uplay club member from all my Assassin's Creed games I played when I was younger.
Oh, right.
So I got tons of stuff that came with the game just because of my childhood.
Yeah. They're really pushing the Uplay thing, aren't they?
They've always done it. It's nothing new. They've been pushing Uplay since Assassin's Creed 2.
That's true. In order to play the beta for For Honor on PC, you had to get the Uplay store and download it from there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was never a huge fan of Uplay. That's when I sort of started to realize that there were problems with the game industry when I was young, and I started seeing Uplay pop up everywhere, asking me to sign up to play Assassin's Creed 3, and I was like,
It's not ideal.
yeah. Doesn't seem to make much sense there, but for For Honor, I would definitely do it.
So far, all I've gotten out of Uplay, other than the Sunbeam, would be the Assassin's Creed insignia,
Right.
which you can use as an emblem.
Oh, that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, or you can use it as a part of your emblem.
I really like the emblem system,
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
and it shows up on your armor and stuff, right?
Yes.
That is incredible.
You can choose to put it there. You don't even have to.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that is just really cool. Fashion-wise, the game just has a ton of potential.
Oh, yes.
Like some really cool color schemes and stuff that I've seen on characters.
Mm-hmm.
And some really neat-looking helmets for some of the knights.
So far, I don't like the Conqueror's helmet.
You don't?
I'm hoping that they get different kinds.
Oh, yeah, they do. I don't think I like the starting Conqueror helmet either.
Like the fact that half of it's just chainmail, and it's the ugliest kind of bucket helmet. It's the one Ouroboros gets made fun of for.
Exactly. So, yeah, there's a lot of different fashion and all that, and I like that. Like the Peacekeeper has some cool looking helmets under her hood.
Mm.
And I like the masks that Nobushi wears.
Yes, I've seen a couple of those.
Not a huge fan of the silly looking hats, but the masks look awesome.
All those silly looking hats are culturals.
That's true. That's true. I don't really like the Kensei's face mask either. I know there's alternatives.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the default one, but I know there are others, and I've seen some that are pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, it seems like if you're not choosing a class because of fashion, then there's an alternative for you.
And something that I've just realized that I think is cool is they give you lots of like default template outfits that are like certain degrees of rarity and whatnot, and they have all sorts of color schemes and designs.
Right.
And at first I thought they looked pretty unimpressive because it was basically nearly identical to what I had on. And I realized that it's just sort of like a respec of the armor that you have. So it basically just pimps out what you're wearing.
That is that is actually really cool.
So at first I didn't think too much of it, and then looking back on it now, it basically, you can get their super cool setup and not have to compromise the look of your armor.
That's a smart idea. I feel like it was a good idea to push fashion in this game.
Now, I don't think there's a transmog set, unfortunately, or ability to change your gear to look like other gear, at least not that I've seen yet.
Really? Huh.
I haven't seen it, but I can't really guarantee that it's not there.
Well, I certainly hope so. I thought I saw something like that in the beta, and I was fairly certain that it was. I know it's in Nioh. I'm absolutely certain it's in Nioh. That's one of my favorite things about Nioh. Like, oh yeah, I want this good defense, but I don't want to wear this retarded-looking helmet.
Yeah, Nioh it's got a very expansive menu set. It reminds me a lot of Diablo, and it's very impressive because it looks like it's improved upon it.
That was smart, I thought. Also, the number of waifus in that game is staggering.
I have not seen the number of waifus. I have only seen Geralt of Rivia.
It's pretty staggering, actually.
And from what I've heard, that's a fair assessment to call him Geralt.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much Geralt.
From what I've seen, he's a dead ringer.
Oh yeah, it's very funny. And I like how the entire game is in Japanese, except for the English speakers. Like when your character speaks, he speaks English. But when every Japanese person speaks, they never speak English because they don't speak English.
That's good. I like that.
Like it's not a spoiler because this is like literally the first level, but the tutorial level is you're in London escaping from a prison, and you're fighting London, like British guards with American with that speak English, and that you can pick up like their bastard swords and wear plate armor and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then as soon as you go to Japan, everything changes. I think that's a really smart idea. How like if you don't know anything about Nioh, you pick it up, first thing you do, you're playing, it's kind of knights and shit like that. But then it's just an immediate change, and I think that's extremely cool. Go straight to the Japanese aesthetic. Yeah, but it just seems like a good game. I really want both of them, For Honor and Nioh.
Yeah, I picked my poison. It's all my stuff went into For Honor.
Good choice.
And so far, I'm not really disappointed with it. It's very unique in that I have not played a game with a control scheme like this before.
Oh yeah, I like how they really went and tried something new here.
Like so far, it's been almost difficult to try and like keep the controls in mind because there's nothing like it.
Right.
So like it's so easy to lose track of like, oh, where's my weapon? Or where am I blocking? Where's this attack gonna go? Did he just attack from there?
Mm-hmm. I feel like that'll just come with time though.
Yeah, I have no doubt it will because it's still really new.
Mm-hmm.
As of this is recorded on Valentine's Day, so it just came out.
Right, we're both sitting here recording a podcast.
Well, we're discussing our true loves, video games.
That's extremely true. Yeah, but both very cool games. Those are the big releases.
Let's see. Another one coming up that I had to sacrifice for Honor would be Nier Automata or Automata.
I know next to nothing about that game.
I'm trying to learn a bit more about the Nier series because this game looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's made by Square Enix and Platinum Games.
What a combination! Holy shit!
Oh, it just visually, it is absolutely beautiful to look at. The animations are so clean and fluid. The character designs are nice and just visually appealing to look at. And just, the gameplay looks phenomenal.
Damn, dude.
I watched, I think, like an hour of E3 footage from it, maybe, and it was stunning to watch.
I really need to do some research into that. Looks pretty damn cool.
I was almost sad to wish away the prospect of playing it, but so far I am not regretting my choice.
Mm-hmm. Did it come out already, or is it coming out?
February 23rd, I believe.
Gotcha.
So lots of big games coming out February.
Yeah, I wonder. That's an interesting choice. I know the Berserk game is coming out soon. I was looking into that, and that shit looks pretty fucking cool.
There's a Berserk game?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Dynasty Warriors?
Oh yeah.
Do you know how that game sort of works? There's tons of mobs, and you just like mow them down.
Yeah, until you get to like a boss enemy, and then you fight them for a bit, and then more.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that. But
that's
the
really perfect for Berserk.
Yeah, the Berserk game is just that. You're swinging big ass swords around. See, I really love Berserk, so that's like a later down the line, $20 on sale buy for me. Berserk and the Band of the Hawk. If you like Berserk, then give it a look. Also, Halo Wars 2. I know neither of us can play that.
Oh my goodness, I have seen so many ads for it.
Mm-hmm. Neither of us can play that because PS4 for the win.
I remember when I used to think it was cool that they were only on Xbox and Microsoft, and now all the Halo stuff for Xbox One, I'm like, that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the old Halos will always stick in our memories. Yeah, but were you a fan of Halo Wars? First one?
I never actually got to play the first Halo Wars.
Really?
Really?
Hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of those kinds of games, though.
What, the real-time strategy games?
Yeah, it reminded me of like Sid Meier's Civilization.
Oh yeah, some of my buddies on my floor play that. We played a big Civilization game. I'm sorry. It was like 4 hours. We sat here for like half a day and fucking just played Civilization. It was awesome.
Yeah, like those kinds of Civilization games you play with friends, I'm totally down for. But like the kind where your computer can't run a real game, so you got Sid Meier's Civilization, and you play as Catherine the Great and fight Ramses II a million times.
Yeah.
And after a while, you just run out of fake Russian names.
That's fair enough. No, yeah, I understand that. The only RTS I really enjoyed was Star Wars Empire at War, which
yes.
Holy shit, dude! I had that for like a year. It was like last year on my old computer, and then it fucked up, and now I have a Mac, so I could barely play anything. But I downloaded the Republic at War mod. So, the main game, it's a very short campaign. There's not a whole lot to do. You can only, say you're the Empire, you can only have like 7 or 8 Star Destroyers on screen at once. But you get Republic at War, right? First off, it's the Clone Wars, which is so much cooler. Mm-hmm. And then second off, you can literally have like 50 fucking Republic Star Destroyers. Like whatever they're called.
Yeah, no one ever bothered to care about the Republic Star Destroyers.
Yeah, but like you just have like dozens of these ships and these massive fleets, and they all open their doors, and like thousands of like it seemed like just it was insane. There was these huge battles.
Just give you a really good sense of scale.
Oh yeah, the ground battles weren't as entertaining, but the space battles were incredible. And then, like, the CIS could get the Malevolence from the Clone Wars show, and it was like the map for the space battles was huge, and it was like half the map. That ship, so it took forever to take down, but it was so satisfying. It was an incredible game, and I wish I could still play it. A lot of those old Star Wars games are just really, really good.
Yeah, they really knew how to make games back then.
Yeah, what are some of our favorites? We like Bounty Hunter, Republic Commando, Empire at War, Jedi Academy.
Jedi Outcast obviously goes along with that.
Yeah.
The Old Republic.
Oh, yes.
And
the MMO.
I suppose Knights of the Old Republic as well.
Yeah, I wish I had played Knights of the Old Republic. I will find an opportunity to someday.
I remember being a little kid and playing it at like my cousin's aunt's insert family member here.
Right.
And just as a kid, I couldn't appreciate the gameplay because I was used to Jedi Academy.
Right. The Jedi Academy and Outcast, these really action-oriented games, and then you have Knights of the Old Republic, which the combat isn't nearly as appealing looking or anything.
Yeah, that, and I was like...
When you're younger, you really can't appreciate it.
Yeah, I was like less than 10, no less, so...
Right. I remember... See, we played the shit out of Republic Commando. We really enjoyed that game, but I remember being like...
I could have gone MLG in that game. I played it so much.
You played the online too. I never really touched the online.
Oh, I played the fuck out of the online. I remember one time I joined up a game and played for like an hour or so. My KD spread was like 347.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it was just unfair. I don't know what... I feel like I must have been playing against like 5-year-olds. Who, like, they just picked up the game and went online to play and their parents didn't stop them. Because it felt like bullying.
Damn. I wish people still filled the servers for that game. Have you checked recently?
Oh, no, I don't have a working copy of the game anymore, as it were.
Sadly enough. Yeah. No, but last time I checked, barely anyone playing it. I know there was actually a surprising amount of people that still play Jedi Academy. And occasionally I stream that, shameless plug to my Twitch channel, but...
no, go for it.
I'll put a link in the description to our social medias, or Sean's lack thereof. His Instagram that he made, and I still get fucking emails for every once in a while. He made it with my email. It's totally not Sean, that's what it's called, and I still get fucking notifications. Totally not Sean. Lady Gaga uploaded a new picture. Like, what the fuck?
I do that so much to myself. Where, like, I'll create an account and I'll forget I do, and then I'll make another one with the actual email I use.
Right.
So I think, like, one of my emails is just constantly getting destroyed with these accounts that I never use.
See, I hated Facebook emails when they send a ton of emails. So my new email, my Facebook is attached to my old email, which is now my spam email. So I never get any garbage from Facebook anymore. That was.
I turned that shit off. I was just like, nope, no emails.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's that? Someone hacked my account? It's fine.
That's fine.
Don't email me.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, but going back a few paces, Jedi Academy, people still play it a lot, actually. Still a pretty consistent community.
It's a really good game. The PvP is surprisingly well set up.
I love analyzing it because it reminds me so much of Dark Souls 3. When it just comes down to like the spacing and all that.
Yeah,
and the balance of the weapon styles. Exactly, it's just incredibly well done, and some of the duels just look fantastic. But then others, you're just like just clicking the fucking mouse and just spamming.
Yeah, you're just clicking as fast as you can and hitting WS.
Exactly.
Hoping to back away from their attack and then move forward just in time for yours.
Which is a valid strategy, but I tend to get my ass kicked when I try to do that. So
that's a Skyrim fighting strategy.
Thank God there's no Skyrim Online or anything like that. PvP would just be horrible.
Online.
Oh yeah, because this is the greatest game ever.
Oh, what a wonderful MMO! Why would you make that game?
Do you remember like the days when we were young and they made everything into an MMO? Like the Matrix had an MMO.
Well, which one?
The Matrix had an MMO.
The Matrix?
I'm not even kidding. It apparently went on for like, I know a little bit about it. It went on for like 5 years. And it had this cool combat system where you know it was like the fighting from the movies.
I didn't know that.
And surprisingly enough, like the game. So the game was a continuation of the story after the last one, Revolutions, I think.
It's interesting because when the story concluded.
Yeah, so apparently, like they're inside the Matrix, and the humans and the machines are like allies now, or at least at peace. So or something like that, and there's like new threats and all that. So you could play on the machine side as an agent style character. You could play on the what's it called, Zion side. I haven't seen the Matrix in too long. But
yeah,
no,
you're right.
No, Zion's side, plays one of the humans, and like the events of the game were actually like, so it was like a real story as it went on, and the events of the game were chosen by the players. So, like, moderators, like some of the game's developers would actually go into the game as like characters from the movies, like Morpheus and Trinity and all that, which is really cool. And then since the story developed because of the because of the player base, at one point Morpheus actually died in canon.
Wow.
Like, yep, and his character died, and the entire game world was changed by it. And I don't know, it just had a cool system. I wish we'd been around to play it.
Yeah, no
I think
kidding.
I think that would have kept us entertained, actually. But yeah, I know a little bit about it. I don't know why I do. I think I watched a video on it once.
You know, it's something pretty obscure for you to know about.
Yeah, but and then the original Star Wars MMO, Star Wars Galaxies, which people swear by, but
Oh yeah.
doing research, it just looks notoriously bad.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's like the greatest game of all time. The Old Republic can never live up to it.
It's like the game went for 7 years, and then like halfway through, the developers completely overhauled the entire thing. Because the idea was to become a Jedi, you had to grind like crazy, because becoming a Jedi is like a reward, not something you have to earn, not something that's given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then halfway through the game's life cycle, they made it easy to become a Jedi, which like nullified hundreds of hours of grinding people had done.
Oh.
So people were mad about that. They kept overhauling the combat system. Just like a bad relationship between. I think I'll link a video in the description about Star Wars Galaxies. It's actually very interesting. It's like an analysis of it over the course of the game's life cycle. I think you should check it out.
I'll definitely have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's something sounds like mercifully don't know too much about.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not an MMO player at all. Notoriously, I've only played one MMO, and it kind of occupied my life while I played it, so I just stopped. Yeah, like, I went for a few months playing Archeage. You remember those days.
Yes, I played with you for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Back. That was back before I had a computer that could handle it.
You played one session with me.
My computer really couldn't handle it back
Because
then.
I begged you to. Yeah, mine couldn't either. I was playing on a shitty laptop, and my internet was so bad. But like, it was going for some reason. I never PvP'd in or did anything like that. But it was going fine. I just love that game to an absurd amount. To the point where, no joke, I went on a family vacation to the beach, and I took my computer there and never went outside and only played Archeage. And like, left my family behind to play Archeage. So I felt so bad about it. That's when I quit the game, because I still feel guilty about it, because all they wanted me to do was go out and like play with them and hang out, and I was just playing Archeage.
It's like, we just want our son back.
That's it though. So I felt so bad, I quit the game, and I haven't gone back. Not that I could play it anyway, because I have a Mac. But I have good memories of that game. And then I gave my account to Christian, and he just like took all of my shit. So even if I went back...
That sounds like Christian.
Yeah, no, he asked and I gave it to him.
Something tells me that your permission wouldn't...
Yeah, well...
Lack of permission wouldn't have stopped him.
He played like twice as much as me, and he was like twice my level, but apparently I had gotten a really, really good weapon. I remember this for some reason. I got a really, really good weapon in the market for like an insanely cheap price. Because like apparently some kid just sold it for cheap for some reason in the, the auction house, how those work.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately aware of auction houses.
So he sold it for like a cheap price, and I got it. It was like better than Christian's sword, and he was like twice my level. So like he was going through. digging through my account when I gave him my stuff, when I quit, and he just like he just like stole the sword and stole all my shit.
You just saw it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. He called me later. He was like, "Patrick, did you your sword, dude?" No, I have good memory. I have fond memories of that game because there was these like adventures you'd go on for cash. You would like have to drag. It was really tedious, and I don't know why I enjoyed it. You had to drag a item on your back, which slowed you to a walking speed, literally across the game world, and give it to someone, give it to an NPC, to get the money. So, like, it slowed you to a walking speed, so the only alternatives were to get on a donkey to move a little faster, or to go by ship. So we'd go by ship all the time, me and my friends, and it was just these incredible adventures, dude. We had so much, we had so much fun. Just like it felt like a proper voyage. We were we were in these boats, and we were getting attacked by, other players who wanted our stuff, like pirates and shit. It was so cool.
Makes you think P would have liked it. 'Cause we're both bandits.
That's true.
It's got bandits. He must like it.
That's funny. No, yeah, but I miss that game. I do, but I'm glad I quit. Were you an MMO guy ever? Did you play any?
I played the Old Republic for a while back before my computer then couldn't handle it.
Right.
I really enjoyed that. World of Warcraft I played for a good while until they changed my class up a lot, and it annoyed me a lot on a personal level. And plus my dad and my stepmom play it a lot together, so I leave the computer open for them.
Yeah, that's kind.
So I don't generally ask to play too much. No, nowadays I'm not much of an MMO guy. I know how they all work and how their inevitable life cycle.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, where MMOs just really aren't my thing. I don't know why I liked Archeage and all.
There are some that are just different enough to lure you in.
Exactly. It was different to me. I'm sure Archeage is pretty generic by MMO standards. I don't know. It probably isn't, but even if it is, it's not like it bothered me because it was the only one that I ever played, so it was all unique to me.
Yeah.
And the graphics were gorgeous.
Black Desert Online, its spiritual successor.
See, I know about that because of how good looking the characters are.
I unfortunately never got to play it. I'm pretty sure it might even be on a computer in this house. I just never got to play it.
Damn, really? I would get on it just to fucking mess around in the character creator.
That's all I wanted to do.
Like, I know about that character creator because I was so intrigued because it was similar to Archeage's and just looks incredibly cool.
It's an improved version of Archeage's, and that in and of itself is something to be proud of.
I think it's incredible how good those faces look. All right. So while we're speaking of graphics, if you had to name like some of the best looking games you've ever played or seen, be it so like let's kind of do categories here. There's like environment looking stuff, like I would say PT is the most realistic looking game I've played from a just like environment standpoint, because there are times when that hallway just looks like it's real.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And then there's games that have like really good looking people, and then there's games with good like lighting and things like that. So do you think you could give me some examples, some of the best looking games in your opinion, based on those?
Yeah, I would say Final Fantasy 15 right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I'm almost not sure which. If you got a good enough PS4 that can handle everything the game can throw at you, that's unfathomably beautiful. Let me take a Injustice? No, not Infamous Second Son.
Injustice. I was like, hold up.
Yeah, no. Infamous Second Son. It wasn't that crazy, but the particle effects in that game were unbelievably well done.
I do remember that looking pretty damn good.
That was just the particle effects in that should have won an award in and of itself. I don't know if it did.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely should have.
Finish what you're saying, and then I have to tell you something about Infamous Second Son. But go ahead.
All right, and let's see. One that surprisingly does not hold up that I thought would. Metal Gear Solid 5 did not make that list.
Really?
The longer you look at the characters, the worse they look.
Sadly enough.
And you might think, that's pretty, for granted it'll look that way for anybody. But no, games like Final Fantasy 15, it looks really, really good, even if you get up close and examine it.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I think MGS5 has really good environment and things like that. The Fox engine is good at that kind of stuff, which is why I think PT makes my list.
Yeah, it's good at a distance. When it decides to open up every single mission with a close-up of his beard.
Yeah, I get you.
And you sit there, you look at it, and you're like, why do they keep doing that?
In terms of older games, I always thought Final Fantasy 13 looked fantastic.
That one was incredibly beautiful. Square Enix, just in general, makes incredibly good-looking games, barring Kingdom Hearts, which is cartoony on purpose.
Right. They've always wanted to push the envelope when it comes to graphics.
I think they do a good job of it.
Mm-hmm. I always thought Metal Gear Solid 4 looked great. Just for my own personal opinion, because some people definitely don't think that.
I think it looked good for its time. It's definitely aged.
Yeah, I agree there. But I think it still looks pretty solid. Yeah. Don't worry, we're almost out of time, so that'll happen soon anyway. But on the topic of Infamous Second Son, as I was saying, the engine that made the game. I could be reporting some outdated shit here, but I heard that the engine making that made Infamous Second Son is being used for Death Stranding.
A modified version of it, yes.
Modified, yeah.
I think it's called like the Decima engine.
Something like that. So, do you heard that too?
Yes, I'm not sure if it was Second Son. It might very well be, but yes, I remember hearing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's spend our last 2 minutes talking about Death Stranding. Why not?
What is happening?
It's like incredibly confusing. No matter, even like, I have this weird image in my mind of what the gameplay will be like, even though it's probably not going to be nothing like it, and I can't describe it. But like, I can see this third-person action game that Kojima's kind of describing.
I almost can't. I have no concept of what's coming, and that's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Me neither. Because, you see the first trailer and you think you think you understand what the game's going to be like, and then you see that second trailer and it's just completely different.
It's just like,
and is it going to be time travel, the game? Is it going to be like alternate dimensions? Or is it going to be something entirely new and original? I don't know. I'm incredibly excited. Some of my favorite videos on YouTube are breaking down Death Stranding. What they think it's going to be.
I look forward to the end result in any case.
Yeah, me too. Do you know what year it's coming out?
No, but I would expect late 2018 at the earliest.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. I think I heard 2018. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, late 2018 at the absolute earliest would be my guess.
Right. Well, we're excited either way.
Most definitely.
All right, I think that'll do it for our first episode of the Patch Productions podcast here. Thank you for tuning in. This is Patrick.
And obviously, well, I'm gonna hope this was Sean then.
Yeah. And thanks for talking, Sean. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you again next week.
Stopping by.
Please shut up.
I'm the one who called.
Shh, they don't know that.
All right, my pleasure.
All right, man. See you later.
See ya.